new round of deadly attacks and forced conscription has begun against ethnic Tigrayans in an area of Ethiopia now controlled by Amhara regional authorities in collaboration with soldiers from neighboring Eritrea. People fleeing over the border to Sudan tell the Associated Press as the year-long war intensifies. 3 men who fled the western Tigray communities of Adebay and Humera in the past week described warnings from Amhara authorities against supporting the rival Tigray forces who are approaching Ethiopia's capital, Addis Ababa, to press Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed to step aside. Their threat led Ethiopia's government to declare a state of emergency last week, while the United States and other countries urged citizens to leave immediately. US and African Union envoys have been holding urgent talks in Ethiopia in search of a ceasefire in a war that has killed thousands of people after political tensions with the Tigray forces who once dominated the national government turned deadly. The UN Security Council is expected to meet on Monday. The new accounts confirm assertions by the US and others that Eritrean soldiers remain in the Tigray region, and they indicate that pressure is growing on Tigrayans of mixed heritage who have tried to live quietly amid what the US has alleged as ethnic cleansing in western Tigray. As reports grew about the Tigray forces' momentum, Amhara authorities at a public meeting in Adebay on October 29 warned residents against supporting them. 2 men who fled to Sudan said,
"There are people working for. You should give them to us or we will kill you all together." One who fled, 28-year-old Mocha Asmalash, recalled authorities saying 0.5 days later, he said, "Amhara militia attacked. I saw 4 people being killed on the run," he said. He and other men hid in the bush for 2 days, gathering information from local women and trying to judge whether it was safe to return. But the women estimated scores of men had been killed and residents had been forbidden to bury their bodies. The women urged them to flee. Another man who fled Adebay, 36-year-old Berhane Jibremichael, confirmed the public meeting. He said he saw 1 man killed as he ran from Amhara militia and the Eritrean soldiers, who he said have a camp in the community. They called it revenge, he said. He described a perilous situation for Tigrayan residents of Adebay who had remained during the war, with many changing their identity, paying bribes or using mixed heritage for a measure of protection. Berhane, whose mother is Eritrean, now fears he can't return. "Maybe the worst things will happen in the next days," he said. "The international community should intervene." Again, it started with a public warning, 28-year-old Alamu Abraha said. Then Amhara authorities, along with Eritrean soldiers, started visiting homes at night to take people away. His friends were taken, he said, and he believes the men are being sent to the Amhara region, where most fighting has occurred in recent months. Meanwhile, reports of mass detentions of Tigrayans continue under the state of emergency. An Ethiopian Orthodox Church official in Addis Ababa, speaking on condition of anonymity for fear of retribution, said dozens of priests, monks, deacons, and others had been detained in the capital because of their ethnicity. Ethiopian authorities have said they are detaining people suspected of supporting the Tigray forces. The government-created Ethiopian Human Rights Commission in a statement noted with concern that arrests appeared to be based on ethnicity and included the elderly and mothers with children. As the war closes in, Ethiopia's government insists that life in the capital remains normal. On Sunday, scores of thousands of people rallied in Addis Ababa in a show of support, some carrying signs criticizing the international community, including foreign media. There were also calls for peace amid the sometimes graphic calls to war. "Can they not discuss around a table?" said one demonstrator, Lemulam Seliga, who also denounced those who are spilling our soldiers' blood. African Union Special Envoy Olusegun Obasanjo, a former Nigerian president, was briefing the AU Peace and Security Council on Monday about his meeting with Tigray leader Debretsion Gebremichael in the Tigray regional capital over the weekend. Tigray Forces spokesman Getachew Reda called the discussion very fruitful. Obasanjo's spokesman did not respond to questions.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.